Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, great. So as you know, I am a faculty in the School of Design, Art and Performance in Flem University. So, but it is a big question. Always my student asks me, where are you from? So I will start my introduction from here, where I came, what I studied, what is my interest, and in the end, what I'm teaching here as well. So if it is a world, I am actually in the Middle East, and there in between four countries, Iran, Iraq, Turkey, and Syria, there is a group of people. Name is Kurdish, and they call this land as a Kurdistan. I am from East Kurdistan, means now in Iran. There is a province name is Kurdistan, and the city is a Sakis. I born in this city and exactly in this home. So I have some memory with this home because of that I put it in my presentation. So how I born and where I born, actually it is about that nature. I'm very close to the nature from my childhood. So in Kurdistan, we have a mountain area. So we have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And in winter, -10, -15 is okay for us because we grow up in this environment. So let's start to my education. As she mentioned it, class 11 to 12, I study graphic design. After that, 1 year's art history. We have something they call a pre-university. And bachelor's in handicraft, master handicraft, but design and production of handicraft, specifically ceramic. And fine arts, also I studied in IIT Kanpur. The gap between 7 years gap between the master and PhD, I had in my own company and startup company. I work with only handicraft, specifically pottery. I will show some of my product in that company. And skill set, I am little bit good in pottery, ceramic, and glaze. I do making my kilns. I made till now 6 kilns, different material. And little bit painting also. I'm interested in painting. I am good in yoga. Actually, first time when I came to India, it was for yoga coach. Means training yoga coach. And I had a certificate from India. I came here for yoga. After that, I went for study. So production design and development. And I do play music instrument because in Kurdistan is every family they play something. So I play 2 instruments, def and tambur. One is drums, one is melodic. Language, I know Kurdish, my mother tongue. Because we have to learn Persian, little bit English, and little bit Arabic, Hindi, and Urdu because I was in India for at least 6 years. My specific interest is about folk, is about the craft in the native people they made it. Is about the history a little bit, is about the culture behind the craft. So I used to do, and still also I'm doing it, research about the folk art as embroidery, pottery, ceramic, and my PhD it was about Prajapati family in India. So I will come to that as well. So it is my research I done, and again about membership. I was member of Iranian Artisan Association, Iranian Ceramic Association, Iranian Science and Technology Park in Kurdistan. I have some award for painting, for photography, for craft as well. The main one is a national award for glaze and ceramic I had in 2015. So as a participant in the different exhibition and Biennale, I was in two Biennale in Iran. One is 9th Biennale and 10th Biennale. Also different international festival for craft, for the ceramic, and exhibition work in the different art museum as the Imam Ali Museum, and also different city. I had during this 7 years gap, what I done, it was actually going to the craft exhibition in different state of Iran. More than 16 states I went, stayed there for 10 days, exhibit my work, sell my works. As well, I had the group exhibition painting in different places, as in Kurdistan, and also in IIT Kanpur, as well in Kanpur Literature Festival. As well, last one, it was a comic strips or graphic narrative in our department, means Humanities Social Sciences in IIT Kanpur. So work experience, as you know, I'm a professor, assistant professor in film. but I had visitor faculty in Kurdistan, and I was teaching in some institute in Tehran as well. And I was teaching fitness and sport in Kurdistan as my second hobby. So I was founder of the Surat Ceramic Studio. Nigarin Honer Zagros. Nigarin Honer Zagros is my company name. And for 7 years, I was doing this company, and another 4 to 5 people worked with me. I had my shop also, and I had another ceramic studio in capital city in Kurdistan, Iran, name is Sanandach. Here's some of them, my painting, wall painting. This is when I came to India, I got this certificate for yoga. So professionally, I do yoga. I done yoga. This is Himalayan Kurdistan. I used to anywhere I am, I like to go for mountain, be with nature, as I mentioned. Photography is another my interest. It is in the film. These two photo. This is also in the north part of India. And calligraphy. This is some of my calligraphy. This is some sketching I done it very long time ago. Now we came to the ceramic, our main subject. So what I do, this upper side, this is the original work of the potters, belongs to 1,000 years ago in the Central Asia, means Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, Iran, Iraq. This part of the world in the 10th century, they used to calligraphy and do painting on the ceramic with a different glaze. So as a student, I used to go to the different museum, take a photo, and remade it again, based whatever I have this knowledge about the glazing. So the downside is actually Republica, or I remade it again from the original work that is in the museum. There's another thing. So that time it was just copy paste. Now here, this left side, if you see, there's a plate. It was originally in the Samarkand, today's Afghanistan. So I take one motifs of this, and I take the motifs on my design, and I make a kind of mold of that, and I made my jewelry. So one of my product in my company, it was a ceramic jewelry. So this is some of the works I made it. Again, same idea, taking motifs from the ancient part or the historical part, put it in clay, make a mold, and make your jewelry. All of them, they have some story. What I like to do with my work is everything has to have some story or background. I cannot make anything just because I like it. It has to have some depth about that. So this is another, some of the works I made it. For example, this work is actually influenced by or getting inspiration by goddess of water in Kurdistan, or Zoroastrian people, they call it Anahita. And this fish also is, all of them, they have some story. If there is a time, I will explain it. After that period, I want to make a jewelry with mixing with metal. Brass, it was better because it was more convenient to do, and somehow only class it was available to me that I afford, and I went on to learn how to make a jewelry. It was a brass based. So I made this kind of brass, and this, whatever you can see as a gemstone, it is not a gemstone, it's a ceramic. That is also made by our company, means the gemstones look like gemstones, and also other ceramic part, and also metal part. This is other stuff I made. So I used to do very small piece of the ceramic. I will show you a bigger one as well. So this is also some of this is resin, ceramic, resin, metal. This is again metal and the ceramic. This is some sculptures, small sculptures. So I was fond of the glaze. I was fond of the earthenware glaze, different glaze, these reduction, these oxidations. It was for that, actually I was not from the science background, but because I like to do the glazing, I went to learn about chemistry. I learned about Ziegler formula. So I used to do so many research about different glaze with the chemistry. So that is also another stuff. This one, if this is a original part, is the Asian part. There is a civilization, we call it a Mesopotamian civilization, and the last one, it was Assyrian civilization. So Assyrian, it was in today's Kurdistan, Iraq, and another dynasty in Kurdistan, the place I born there. It was, they call it Mad or Manena. So they are influenced by Assyrian and other group there. So this pot, it's a glaze, it belongs to 2,800 years ago. And they discovered it now, today it is in Japan, museum in Japan. So I get inspiration of that. I made it again, tried to find this glaze, but I couldn't, but it was close by. So I made it again and I use it for today's product as a, for example, lamp. So the light will come out from the holes. Another thing, it was in the Zavia. Zavia is the name of the village in close to my city, actually, where I born. There's another work I find it, not I, they found it. It is in the museum. Now I think this is in the Kurdistan Museum. Is a ivory, and ivory means it's almost 20 centimeters only, very small. But I made it as a 2 meters for some mall. It was other project. So I used to go make a reliefs, make some work for the home, for the mall, getting a project from the people with my company. So this is also our original work of the Ilkhani dynasty. So it was also almost 10th century. So I remade it again. I make a mold of that. I just take a photo and after that I make it and actually made my product, today product. This also inspired by Kurdish carpet. These motifs, these three kind of tiles is inspired by same motifs but different color. So because Kurdistan is a very cold area, I used and we have carpet, and the carpet color of the carpets motifs is almost warm color because they have to give the warm to the home, whereas outside is very cold. So I get this kind of coloring from them and I made the ceramic of that. And this also the pomegranate anar, or in our language we call it henar. It is in Kurdistan, some part of Kurdistan, people will not cut anar with a knife. There is a holy kind of fruit for them. So I get inspiration from them. I go there, I take the anar, I make it dry, and after that make a mold and make a ceramic out of that. This is another project I had. Actually, they called me for the making a tile for, it was an old tile, almost 200 years ago. 200 years old tiles from some museum. It was an old house. Now it's a museum. They asked me to remake it again because 10 of the tile, it was actually broken. So I make a mold, I make painting again, and the same color. Now today it is in this place. Two kind of tile. One, it was with a yellow clay, yellow glaze. It is here. And vertically, it is this blue one. So it is also another project I done it. The lands project I done it for my work. I can tell it was about IIT Kanpur just 1 month before my PhD is over. Me and my co-supervisor, we get some project from some center. It was developing some center about the medical and genetics center. So she made the design, and after that I make a tiles, 500 tiles we made it, and we curve the negative part, and when it's dried we bake it and we insulate it. This is now original place of the relief work in IIT Kanpur. This is 2023. Now I will go for sculpture. My experience with sculpture, as I mentioned in the end of my work in the bachelor's. So I used to do my final work with the ceramic. So there I do a raku. So this is all of them actually is a 10 piece. Now is only 4 here. Is around this water body, and we call it dialogue. It was the name of the artwork. It was dialogue. So these birds is talking together. Some is sleeping. Some is just ask some question maybe. So this is also raku paste. This is other stuff I done in the hanar pomegranate with the smoke with the iron oxide. So it's a different kind of effect of the glazing. I used to do so many research about the glaze, different iron, copper, in different atmosphere. This rolling glaze, matte glaze, reduction glaze. It is also 2013. I had my solo exhibition about only reduction. So this is some of them. There's a copper oxide, bismuth, again copper oxide. This is a some stoneware 2012 for my master. I just had a chance to have a high temperature kiln, so I do some stoneware work. So I made this work. This is very interesting project or the work they asked me assignment during my bachelor. My professor came and told make cup for Kurdish people. You, for example, another student, make cup for Baluch people, make cup for Persian, make cup for Arab, make cup for Turkish. I feel that it is easy, but when I tried, actually, I don't know anything about Kurdish history and the culture. So I went and studied almost 2 months, my study, 20 books. And after that, I came out with this design that I feel that it is good for the Kurdish people. I get some inspiration from the Kurdish history about this cup. So I made it with a stoneware and I made it with a earthenware in different places. Now, crawling exercise, I had a kind of project for this also, different lamp, plate lamp, these different colors. So I done this crawling place. You can see it in different form. Yeah. And this is also a similar pot or plate. It was in museum, and there it used to be writing in Arabic mostly. That blessing for honor. So, but I wrote it in the Kurdish here, and similar thing, blessing for honor. So when you have this plate, anything is go inside is blessed. So it was a very nice exercise, very nice culture. So I used to make this also, that you wrote something and it's a positive energy always in that pot. This is we call it entorvarian. I don't know in English, maybe my pronunciation is not correct, but in our college they call it entorvarian glaze with iron oxide. The little fish. This actually inspired by one simple story, child story. It was about a group of the fish. One of them told, "I want to go for the sea. I want to see the sea," because this group they live in the lake. So this is actually breaking a limitation because everyone happy with that limitation, but he want to go out from there. So I get inspiration. I make this work. One of them actually break the wall of the bowl. This is inspiration from story 2010 during my master. So this is some works I done it in my company. It's only for beauty aesthetics. Here's also some of the exercise I done with iron oxide, mostly with the copper and iron oxide. Different exercise with the glazing. And this also, it's kind of with only iron oxide. So usually working with 2-3 elements or the glaze, you get more, it's my opinion, you can make more stuff than just go from this branch to another branch. This is also some of the, this is a copper oxide, but it's the same glaze, but with a different atmosphere. And this is a smoking, means is a reduction. Where is the smoke is goes is turned to the red. And this too is a raku piece. So this also, all this kind of bowl is actually inspired by Caspian Sea civilization in today's Iran and Azerbaijan. They are making very interesting bowl. I went to the museum, I get inspiration, I make. It's not exactly same, but I just get inspiration from. And the birds in different glazes. So for example, if whatever is the red one, or this is actually based on the black one, is reduction work. So because I had a shop, so I used one of the favorite product for my customer, it was a bird. So I make so many birds with different glazes. This is also another story. It's a Sufi story about Mansur Hallaj, the person he told, "I am a truth." So because he mentioned that I'm a truth, so they hung him, they killed him, and This is a people that they assume that he is wrong, so I made them as a black and kind of what we call it as a not very sharp and shiny glazes as or happy glazes, but this one because actually in the Sufi the blue and green specifically is a holy color. So I put this. This is a symbol of the Mansur Hallaj and these other people around them. And actually, what I made it was I make a mold of the bottle and I form the bottle before it's dry. This is also reduction. This four is reduction. This one is oxidation. Same glaze. I just put in different environment. This is Adam and Eve. This is also a story that according to Abrahamic religion, as a Jewish, Christian, and Islam, the Adam and heaven came down from the sky or heaven, paradise. And this is also similar things. I made this with pomegranate. So as I mentioned, I have a shop means I made a shop. It's not the shop ready. So I just draw some Kurdish carpet with a Kurdish hand. So I draw it in the software. I make it with a metal sheet. I put it there. I color it. Now my products till today, because my sister is continuing same job, they are actually selling in this shop. This is all my products here. Now about today, what not today, 5 years ago when I came here to India, and after that 1 year ago I done my PhD, finished my PhD. It's about this project I had. So I had studied about the Kurdish pottery in Kurdistan, South Kurdistan, we call now Iraq, and after East Kurdistan in Iran, south part of Iran, Baluchistan I went. I studied their parts because it's very, very interesting pottery cluster in Baluchistan. After that, I went to Rajasthan, stay with the potters for 10 days almost. UP, I went to the Nizamabad, Hapur, Bhatti, close to Benares, Chunar, Meerut, and Kanpur. And also I went to West Bengal for Panchmura. So I study all these clusters. And when I went, for example, just showing you, when I went, I saw how they are actually firing process, specifically in India, and it's similar to the Kurdish and the Baluch pottery as well, using a cow dung and making so much smoke. It doesn't matter if there is a, for example, updraft kiln or it is a open kiln or any of this style, it's very harmful for the potters. So I came out with the idea that why not making a some kiln that is cheap and also potters can afford them. So I came out with simple works. This is, I think, I made it as a project, small, but it was only for testing. There's a cross draft kiln with a ceramic blanket and the board, ceramic board, and can go to 1,200 and cost is only 40 to 50K. And also during the COVID, I went to Himalaya, means Uttarakhand, and I make another kiln for them. And now the school, they have this kiln. I was for 1 month there. I teach pottery also. We get some exhibition pots, a pottery exhibition also there with the student and the teachers. It was very interesting time I had there. After that, I came out, I told, why not making a kiln with brick? Means available brick, normal brick, it is in the village, not with iron sheet or any stuff. So I had a different design. I give it to the people in Kanpur, but no one could make the dome and the arch because I didn't allow them to use a cement. So only thing they has to do is with a clay. So they couldn't, they tried, they make it, but it was not well. So I destroyed and I try to make it myself. So before that, I have to study how to make it arch and also dome. So I make a replica or I make a small maquette, we call it, maquette of the kiln, I make it. So after that, I went to the original size. This maquette is only 220 centimeters high. but this has to be almost 2 meters. So I make these bricks. I take the bricks. This is a clay, and after that I try to make an arch. This study the arch and the dome take me 3 months to understand the architecture a little bit. And after that I make a dome. And the first dome, because it's a two shell, in design it was two shell. This is the first shell, means first inner side. So when I make this, I went for the second one. So I put the ceramic blanket in between. I sandwich it actually between the two shell, and little bit gap also. It is in between the two shell or two wall, because air is best insulation for the kiln. So I make a second one, and also because it was rainy time, we cover it with a cement also. And we put this burner with a gas cylinder. We used to make a black pottery and saga pottery. Here you can see it from same kiln is coming up. But interestingly, I couldn't find, maybe you can help me, because that time I couldn't find any kind of burner they can go horizontally. Because this burner I use is not for design, not for horizontally, it's designed for the vertically. I went to Delhi, I went to Kurja, I was in Kanpur, I couldn't find this burner, so I use a normal burner, but I'm sure if I have a, so for that reason, I make a my burner. I went to the mechanical department, physics department, sorry, and with the help of one PhD student, make our burner, and we could go to the higher temperature. With this, we can go only till 850, 900. Now, another done, what I done it in my PhD also, I want to just share it. It was about how we can change the design of the pots. For example, this teacup, we take it. So I went to the different places, and I choose 2, 3 of these potters come, and I taught them how to finish their work, how to do some value addition to their work. So they came out, for example, trimming process, they don't have, almost none of them, they have a trimming process. In Nizamabad they have, in Rajasthan they have, but not in the Kanpur. So how to burnishing works, how to actually purification of clay, it was another things. How to not touch the pot of the finishing, because everything it was good, they made it, but when they touch it, they deform it. So how to actually disconnect it without touching? It was another stuff we thought. For example, is one of the potters, they came the first day, they make this color, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. And how purification of the clay also, you can see it. This is, we done it in one of the, I think it was a 1 or 2 months project, the teaching the, and this is also different future direction, means different value addition you can make it with the same kind of product the potters they made, all of them made by potters, not me. So how we can just add small birds, draw something with a sleep, not with a glaze as well, put some simple glaze, reuse it again. This clay, whatever it is in Kanpur, you can make so many works, but if you know how to design a work nicely. This is also made by me. This is I learned from Rajasthan, making a pot with a saga technique, means half black, half reddish with a smoke. So I used to make this kind of work to understand their technique. This is some of other works I done it. We call it Seven Sister. Some of these works, it is in my website. You can see it later on. So yeah, this is some of the works with Seven Sisters. This is also for my PhD. I just try to make and develop the different parts with the same clay they are making a kulak. So this some of the works I done it with iron oxide with a reduction process. This also some others. So some is with a black glaze, is a stain. Upper side is iron oxide. These other works. This is a Manusa pot. I went to West Bengal. I saw there is some pot they call it Manusa pot. So I just get inspiration by them and I made this works. Okay, this is also Udu. Udu is when I saw the Getam in South India, they are making instrument because I play instrument, so I was very interested in making instrument with the clay. So I studied a little bit guitar. And after that, I understand that bass sound will come very difficult. But there is some instrument similar to that in Nigeria. They call it Udu. They have a hole. So based on the where is the hole, how much is the size is big, how much is the size of the wall, different sound will come. So I make different Udu as well. This is some of the Udu, and we played also. Now, what I am doing here in the frame is about introduction to sculpture is one of the course I do, and I try to teach them how to go from 2D to 3D. So one of the best example is a relief. This is some of the students' work. This is just last batch student. I think I done. Yeah, this is my class. This is my student, and this is the work they are doing only with a red clay. Thank you so much. I done. If
Yeah,
I don't know.
Thank you, Arman. Anyone has any questions, queries you want to have?
Take half an hour.
Yeah, appreciate something. So I have a question regarding the Urdu
Yeah.
instrument. How do you, it is just what? It is made in terracotta, and is it just
Yeah. See,
fire?
I want just play this one for 2-3 seconds. It's only 2-second video. This is a potters in Rajasthan, and he made this. Actually, I get inspiration for them, and he made this based on the order, and I played. Just
We can't hear it as clear.
cannot hear it. Okay, sorry. This is a way you can see video.
Yeah.
How to play it.
Okay.
There is no sound is coming.
Sound is coming.
No.
No, not coming.
No, still no. So basically, it is terracotta and it is just fired once. That's it.
Yes, simple.
Mm.
But how you make a sound and how, because what is, you can play with any surface, but you have to know the rhythm. Any rhythm, Indian tal, if it's a tabla or if it's a Western 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, depend. You have to understand the rhythm and the silent between the beat. So you can play, and some of them, not this one, but I'm just doing research about them actually, Urdu, putting a glaze inside and putting a water. I assume sound will be changed. If you put the water inside and you beat it, it might be
Just
changed.
like Jaltaran.
It might, I don't know what you are telling, Jantara, but it might.
Jaltarang is like you place bowls and there is water in it, and I think
Okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyone, any question?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry, I
Hi.
cannot switch on my video. But
Ashwin.
yeah, your work is so inspiring. I just loved the stories behind it,
Thank you.
especially the Mansoor.
Hallaj.
Yeah, that story was very. I mean, it was very touching, and not just that, even the smallest of work, how it is related, that I liked. Your glaze work is awesome, and
Thank you.
a different uh, the sketching, photography, and everything. So it is a mind opener. Actually, your talk has been, and thank you for presenting the work.
Thank you for listening and watching. I want to just tell what I get it from here when I came. I went to this Triennale as well in Delhi. So whatever potters they are doing is always mostly 90% is stoneware and porcelain, high temperature. But the background of the earthenware is you have almost 5,000 history behind of that. but you don't touch it because it's because of, I don't know, some caste issue or anything. But there is a very interesting color you can make it with the same red clay. That is a possibility of the work, and it's very cheap, and you can make a very interesting work. But I don't know why, but at least in Middle East, because the place I was there, so with the red clay they do so many works, so many works. But here only the white clay, stoneware, porcelain, high temperature, not less than 1100 to 1400. But there is a possibility every village they have a clay, so go and make it. Those just only things. Yeah.
True.
Yes, it was an eye-opener for us also.
Thank you.
And so
I
much
think, hi
research you
Arma,
have done.
yeah,
Hello.
And of course, all the achievements.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
yes, your resume is like eye-opening. This is Falguni Arman, and I can't switch on my video right now, but I just want to also tell you that lots of people are now going back to red clay, and they're using red clay in their sculpture or also in production wear. But yeah, and thank you for showing your presentation, and it was like very inspiring, as Ashwini said. Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I have a question? I have a question. This is Sandhya, and it's related. Very inspiring and interesting work. I was just curious about. You said red clay is more prevalent in other parts of the world. So about glazing, is it used with glaze or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever you saw it is a glaze. So
Yeah.
recent work I done with a bird, seven sister, with a bird and pot. It's the same clay I purchased from Prajapati family in the outside of IIT campus. They are making only palak. I take the soil. I actually I do making a clay is different technique. You have to do the purification of the clay, and you can make this work as you saw it.
Okay, very beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice work.
So even in your shop, you have all the pieces in terracotta itself or any other clay you're using?
Yeah, white clay and red clay. So both of them, they call it earthenware, means we bake it only under the 1000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you are baking anything in under the 1000, if you're using electrical kiln, will go very fast, and we have a less energy, means we with a less energy you'll get the same color. But if you go for 1000 to 100 1200, 2 times more energy you have to put, 3 times more energy. If you, I don't know, you do the gas kiln or not. So for example, 1000 to 1100 take 2 hours. 1100 to 12 take another 2-3 hours. But 0 to 1000 take only maybe 4 hours. But after is very difficult, reaching up very tough. So if it is a wood, electricity, gas, you lost so much energy. And I'm not fan of the energy. Because so many people, they don't have this energy, and because we like this color, we will just waste energy.
So this is all single firing, glazing.
Yeah, depends. Some of the glaze, for example, the glaze I get award, it was 3 times.
Oh.
Means one is a bisque, second it was a glaze, third one also it was a glaze. So that award, it was a fun. It's some technique. Yeah.
Arman, this is Nandita Mahajan. I just wanted to say,
Hello.
like everybody else has, your talk was really inspiring. You know, in particular, I thought that for a person who to study how to make an arch for 3 months and then to actually try it out. And this is just one example. I'm sure you've done several of these where you've tried to experiment and then come to a final product. So, you know, how do you find the time and the energy to do that? You know, some of us will just take a shortcut and say, okay, you know, let me ask somebody to do it or let me just buy it. But so, from where do you get this inspiration to do it all yourself?
Actually, why I designed a kiln and I give it to Misri. These people, they are making a home on house. I think we changed 6 group during the 3 months. They came, they tried, they left. I didn't put the picture. For example, they make a dome and the arch. Before firing, arch is collapse. And I ask another person to come repair it. Before again firing, I could see the sky inside the kiln. It was very big kind of gap between the wall. So I just destroy it and I make it. But you cannot make it because I never do this kind of work. So I make, for example, 800 small bricks, almost is 2 centimeters to 1 centimeters and 8 millimeters. So I make 2 type of this maquette. You saw it in my presentation. It was a second one to understand how to make it because I want to know. It was a question. When questions come, I cannot give it to someone or ready-made work. This is because why I like the pottery also because it's hand involved. And if you are not doing the chemistry, for example, if you are not now it's become architecture also. There is a deep understanding of the work if you do it with yourself. So you will never wait for someone to help. You will do it yourself. That is something.
It's very commendable. The curiosity, the willingness to experiment and to actually do it. Thank you.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
We have a question from Ritika. She's asking, do you have a link for your shop?
Shop, no, but as my just write my name, it is a website. You can see my other works, my music. I play some instrument also. Because you cannot hear it, there is some instrument when I went to Uttarakhand. So just write armanovla.com. It's my website. There is some series. Actually, there's a conference video when I talk about Black Pottery of Nizamabad. It was one of the articles I published it in the conference in Portugal. And one conference also is about Pahari people in Rajasthan making a saga pot. It is in Spain conference. So there's a link and it's a half an hour, 20-minute video and picture talking about the Indian pottery. You can go to my website. Just write my name, armanovla.com. Simple.
Okay. Anyone else has any question? Okay, that's it. I think